Last Pint Productions presents The New Way. The New Way contains adult content, including... You know what? This is our 100th episode, and it takes a lot of energy to come up with these stupid adult content warnings every week. So no, you don't get one. If you know the show, you know we swear a lot. Fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck. Sorry. Are you offended? Were you looking for one of the religious shows that often surround our podcast, like The New Way to Jesus? This ain't it, honey. We barely even talk about the passion on this podcast. So if naughty words offend you, you better turn around right fucking now. Anyway, listener discretion is advised, blah, blah, blah.
Hey everybody, this is Ben and Matt from Last Pint Productions, and we're here with our inaugural podcast.
That's correct. We're trying to start this off for the first time, so bear with us if there are any technical difficulties.
Yeah, or if the audio is awful, then please don't post bad comments on our website, which is lastpintprod.com, so you can check that out.
Everybody wants to be naked and famous. Everybody wants to be just like me and naked.
Will you help teach me about this? What is it? A new way?
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
What's going on out there? I don't know what just happened, but it seems as if the DJ skipped the record and let's put on a little bit of different theme music than the normal New Way preamble.
Oh, was that Nick Santa Croce I just heard?
I think I just heard a little Nick Santa Croce celebrating back there. We got a little Cool in the Gang going on. I don't know what could be happening. What is this? What is going on?
Yeah, baby.
The kids are saying yeah. The adults are saying yeah.
If y'all seen a leprechaun, say yeah.
Crack kids saying yeah. I don't know what's going on. It seems like there's some sort of celebration happening tonight. Oh, I know what it is. It is the New Way Podcast's 100th episode.
Wow. We did it, fam.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we did it. We made it all the way to 100 episodes. Thank you all so much for listening out there and bringing us to 100. We have a ton of goodies scheduled for you guys tonight. Some things that even Ben and Nick don't know are about to happen and are going to be privy to in just a few minutes. I'm gonna turn off our Cool in the Gang here, just because I did let Ben know a little bit earlier. I am trying to incorporate about 36 different sound bites into our 8 soundbite slots tonight. So I'm going to be kind of moving things in and out during the podcast. So ask you guys
you're going to be moving things in and out during the podcast.
Hey, I wish I had the rim shot, but I don't have room for it, so it doesn't exist.
Here, I'll just do the ham horn on
Beth loves
my
it.
phone. There you go, ham horn.
Good, the air horn will work just great. But
Why have we waited 100 episodes to get the air horn on black?
We did it for one episode,
Well,
and I
have it on my
handle
phone. So
Was that the Linklater episode? I didn't listen to that one.
No. We had one a while. We did the air horn a while ago, and we did it around the time that they used it in
you and everybody else that regularly listens to the podcast. They're like, Richard Linklater, pass.
Yeah, I don't think anyone listened to that.
You didn't have the air horn for the Richard Linklater episode?
Don't think so.
He does love a good air horn.
Actually, they listened for 5 minutes and they said, Nick Santa Croce's not on this one. Pass.
It's true. We do. We lose a lot of listeners every time Nick's not on the show, so it's unfortunate. But speaking of which,
said it, not me. You said it, not me.
Speaking of which, Nick, you and I recently were hanging out with. Why are you combing your beard over there? No one can see you but us.
Because he's in Baltimore.
I
Gotta keep up them appearances.
Bald no more.
had a messy dinner, and I'm just straightening things out.
Did you eat crab?
Ew! Do you comb the food out of your beard?
No, I just
wash it.
Listen, this is why the only reason I don't like video conferencing with you guys is you narrate everything I do. It's not for the audience.
I didn't know this
is
what
you,
was going to be happening.
It's just for you, Pat.
Well, it's going to be important to see you in a few moments. So we'll leave that tease up there. But Nick, I did recently see you in the flesh, in Los Angeles as well as Las Vegas. How did you enjoy our pair of trips?
I loved when you came and visit me in Los Angeles, Matt. We had a great time.
It was good. We had authentic Mexican food, and I ate sea urchin tacos. The first time I had
And I
sandwich
had-
in that week,
And I had French fries in my burrito, so it truly was
as they do in
authentic-
Mexico, the proper way to do it. But yeah, we Nick showed us all
Burritos
over.
to papas fritas. I'm
We
telling
went-
you, it's a thing.
We saw Midsummer at the Cinerama Dome, the famed Tarantino complex, and we saw, what was the record place you took me to?
Amoeba Records.
Amoeba
Amoeba,
Records. That was
yeah.
amazing. That place is gigantic and awesome. And then Nick and our good friend Kevin, who's been on the podcast and who might show up in a clip or two later on in this show, we all drove over to Las Vegas, and we had one really good first day before we even got into Las Vegas, just driving there and going through Red Rock Canyon. And then there was
And then we left 3 days later.
and then there was a 3-day blur, and then there was money missing and sunglasses, and I came home. But yeah, well, listen, there's one really good story for a bit. I do not want to name names in any of our Vegas stories, but someone on our trip at one point met two lovely, wholesome young ladies. Someone, don't say it. Don't listen. I'm not going to out anybody on this. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. The stories can be shared, but no names. But this person met two lovely young ladies. They seemed very sweet and innocent, and he thought perhaps I might take them up to my hotel room in hopes of eventually luring them to a Motel 6 nearby for a three-way, as any romantic in Las Vegas is wont to do. Unfortunately, at one point during some of the shenanigans in the hotel room, one of them quoted a price, and this caught our young romantic off guard. At which I believe it was Kevin that first came up with. He must have been like, "That means you're hookers," which
Well, if you're keeping track at home, Matt
It's
has
not-
let
it's
you
not
know
Kevin.
it's not Kevin.
It's not
It's
Kevin.
not Kevin.
but it could be Nick, me, or any other people there. And so yes,
Well,
unfortunately,
I don't pay for sex. So you can rule me out too.
In my mind, it was everybody else on the trip.
First of all, no one paid for sex that night. The women were turned down, but they did steal food from the mini bar and my sunglasses. And worst of all, I bought the most wholesome thing you could bring on a rip roaring 40s gentleman's party in Las Vegas. I bought an item from my past, a wooden slide whistle from Galco's what was the name of that place?
It was Galco's Soda Pop Shop.
Galga's Soda Pop Shop from a sweet
Galco's
old
in
man.
Highland Park?
Sweet old man sold me a beautiful wrapped slide whistle, which I thought would bring merriment and joy, because what's funnier than the sound of a slide whistle? And I woke up in the morning, and what was on that slide whistle? There was no more protective wrap. There was bright red hooker lipstick on that slide whistle. They blew on my slide whistle, and now I cannot blow on it. But it was brought back to me, so I'm going to have it in the house.
Well, you know,
Just don't blow on the slide whistle.
She also would quote you a price to blow on your slide whistle.
Yeah, you're lucky. You made it out.
You made it out scot-free.
She gave you a free whistle job.
Stole my sunglasses and blew my slide whistle unsatisfyingly to non-completion.
God.
She didn't even...
Yeah,
You'd think for a professional she'd know how to blow the slide whistle better.
and of course, once I found out that my sunglasses had been stolen, the one thing I wanted to do was make the sound with the slide whistle, but I couldn't because it was tainted. So that was our Vegas excursion in a nutshell. It was quite an interesting trip, and very much a blur. But that's first little bit of business. Second, I'm curious about this discussion with you guys. Someone was sent out in a text thread earlier, and I want your take on this because I think this is a good New Way discussion point. Goofy is the only classic Disney character who has had sex. And this is what the post goes on to explain. Mickey has nephews. Donald has nephews. Goofy has a son. And he wasn't adopted. He looks just like him. That means Goofy has had sex, but none of the other Disney characters have. Why do you think Goofy's allowed to have had sex?
Technically, they did introduce Donald's sister, who was the mother of Huey, Dewey, and Louie in the new DuckTales reboot. So
she had sex, but that still means that Donald didn't.
Well,
Who's she? What's his sister's
I think
name?
the argument is that she is not one of the classic Disney characters.
I don't know her name. What's her name?
I don't know her name.
There we go. She doesn't have a name. It doesn't matter.
I'm the father. I'm the father. I was a one night in Vegas. I don't remember her
Screwy
name.
McDuck.
That's me. Why do you have to make her
Screw me, McDuck.
a harlot?
No, McDuck. That would have been incest. That's
That's true. That's true.
All right, slow your roll, Jamie Lannister.
First of all, screw me, McDuck is definitely something someone has paid someone to allow them to say to him. Oh, screw me, McDuck. You know what? That is actually... I think that might almost be the perfect way to segue into something here. And I got to... Unfortunately, man, it's going to take me like 30 seconds to transition this. But
That's fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nick, how was the wedding in Baltimore?
Ah, yes.
It was great, but first off, I refuse to believe that Donald and Daisy didn't get it on. They just were safe about it.
Yeah,
They
well,
Because he was not
weren't
wearing
ready.
pants.
Well, I mean, I think they were both career-minded couple, and they just weren't ready for kids, and they made a responsible decision.
I would like to think that Mickey and Minnie are both, they don't really seem to have those organs, but they're non-binary, and they just sit there and scissor, and just for
Organs.
fun.
So technical.
Hey, listen.
We don't have these organs.
Was that a Malkovich sex Disney
That was
joke?
it was a Malkovich combined into Stella Shorts.
Stella Shorts, yes.
Which is one of my favorite things. It's my favorite sex move is a reverse Malkovich into a Stella Short, followed by a Donald Duck quack, which Nick can do for us on cue. Or not.
I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it.
You asshole. I looked right in your dead eyes, and you're like,
know.
nope. Not
Like a
jumping through
doll's
hoops.
eye.
Well, all right. So that means that we can maybe get into. I still got to load like 2 more things here. These took a lot longer than I thought. Keep talking about
I am
Disney
in
sex.
Baltimore. I am in Baltimore. I did go to a wedding. Storchy,
Storchy.
of course, finally tied the knot, and I was best man, and I gave a rousing speech. You all will be very proud of me.
Congrats to Mr. Storchy.
Thank you. Congrats to Storchy, of course. I did a gag I think you guys might really like. I pretended to be nervous the whole morning. I really would love to go off notes. I would love for that to happen, but I'm afraid I'm going to mess up. I think I'm afraid I'm going to have to use my notes. Is that okay? And he goes, of course it's okay. Of course it's okay. So I started off. I told a corny joke. It didn't quite land by design.
Nice.
Crumpled up the paper, threw it behind my shoulder, and said, "You know what? I'm going off script." And there was a collective gasp in the crowd, and then a little bit of applause. Then people started getting rowdy, and then I pulled out the other copy of the script I had printed out, and I said, "No, just kidding. I'm still using notes. I always wanted to do that. It looks cool in the movies." They loved
Wow.
it. Shit up, y'all.
Were the women lined up to fillet you, like in like a certain order, or just was it first come first serve?
First come, first serve. I like to be fair.
That's good. Well, I've always said you're fair about those things, so that's good.
Nick, all of a sudden your video up here is on a delay.
Is my audio?
Oh,
on a delay?
yeah. No, your audio's okay, but
Your audio's
your
fine.
video's definitely on a little bit of a delay, but it's okay. I'm not really looking at you, so.
Ben, you know that I love you.
All right. Well, I think all that salacious talk kind of got me thinking about something we haven't done on the podcast in a while.
Oh no.
Something the fans have told me they're big fans of. They really like to hear it, and we like to call this erotic readings.
Ooh.
We haven't done erotic readings in a while, unless you count Beth's sound bites about penetrating a horse gently but deeply. And I do count that, but not the same. So we are going to read 3 passages from erotic novels voted to be some of the worst erotic writing ever ever put in.
Speaking of the worst erotic writing ever, is this the soundtrack to Cool World?
This is a good old shout out to Mr. Casey August. This is Harlem Nocturne. We played this in jazz band. This was Casey's saxophone saxophone solo or saxophone. That totally works too.
Wow.
For his senior year.
Brings a whole new meaning to take the A train.
So, I'm Nick. I'm gonna let you go second, but I'm gonna need to know your choice so I can send it over to you. You can do 1, 2, or 3. Which do you want to do? You're choosing 3. And Ben, you want 1 or 2?
I'll do 1.
Okay. Take 1. I'm gonna take 2. I'm gonna send you over number 3 right now, Nick, to your phone. So just listen to some of these
Beautiful.
sexy sax back here.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, by the way, Ben, you picked the one. There's one out of all of these that is like the most insane, and you picked the one. So
Ben always picks the most insane reading.
You all accused me last time of loading the best one for me, so I made sure that there were no shenanigans this time. Hold on one second, Nick. Let me copy this. These are ones that are a little longer than normal.
Oh no.
All right,
Give
Nick,
the people what they want, right?
all right, I sent yours over, Nick.
I'm going to have a hard time getting through this
Yeah, I
one.
bet you are. All right, so I'm going to turn off this one. So now we have another choice to make. I have picked 3 different music tracks. These all have a different feel to them, and you can choose track A, B, or C to do your track to. What do you want, Ben?
Tell me one is Cotton Eye Joe.
None of them are Cotton Eye Joe.
I want C. I want C because I want 3 and C. 3
Okay,
C.
he's going to be C. You can choose B or A.
I'll do A. I'll do 1A.
All right, Ben, you ready?
Sure, I'll do it.
Let's do it.
She said nothing, then, her lovely mouth otherwise engaged, until he came all over her face. She had gagged and moved him outside her lips, rubbing his spurting glands across her cheeks and chin. He had wanted to cry out, sitting up as if... What are you doing, Matt?
What am I doing?
He had wanted to cry
Don't
out,
look at me.
sitting up as if jolted by electricity as the spurts, the deep throbs rooted in his asshole continued. What the fuck, Matt? But he didn't know what name to call her. Mrs. Rougemont was the name he had always known her by. God, she was antique, but here they were. Her face gleamed with his jism in the spotty light of the motel room. There on the far end of East Beach, within the sound of the sea. The rhythmic, relentless shushing returned to their ears. She laid her head on the pillow and seemed to want to be kissed. Well, why not? It was his jism. Having got rid of it, there was an aftermath of sorrow in which he needed to be alone, but there was no getting rid of her. Call me Suki, she said, having read his mind. I sucked your cock. You sure did. Thanks. Wow. What the flying fuck?
My favorite part of that whole thing is the end of it when she goes, I sucked your cock. He goes, you sure did. Well, that was...
I think we need an extra, like, listener discretion just because of that goddamn passage.
Yeah, there was a lot of... there was more jism than I expected in that one, but I did pick
That's what
it.
she said.
There we go. All right. I'm going to go as number 2 here. Put on my number 2 music.
This is what you listen to when you're taking number 2?
My sexy number 2 bathroom music. In the shower, Ed stood with his hands at the back of his head like someone just arrested, while she abused him with a bar of soap. After a while, he shut his eyes, and Diane, wielding her fingernails now and staring at his face, helped him out with 2 practiced hands, one squeezing the family jewels, the other trying to subdue the hound. Her breasts were perfect rounds, white as mare's milk, and tipped with ruby nipples that puckered as his gaze passed over them. Her body was hairless. Her pudenda were also entirely devoid of hair. The tips of her inner lips protruded shyly from the vertical cleft. The sweet dew of feminine arousal glistened upon them. The wet friction of her tight around him, the sight of her open, stretched around him, the cleft of her body, it tore a climax out of him with a final lunge. Like a lepidopterist mounting a tough-skinned insect with a too-blunt pin, he screwed himself into her.
Jesus.
By the way, I don't know if some of you movie aficionados out there noticed or not, I literally just played Murtaugh's theme from Lethal Weapon.
I was about to say, this sounds familiar.
I knew it.
All right, Nick, you're up. Are you ready?
My God.
I'm in my childhood bedroom. My parents are downstairs.
You've done a lot worse things in that bedroom.
This is true.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
You've read this Penthouse Variations. Is he going to soundproof his room?
No. He's closing the door.
That is amazing.
This is bringing me back. I had to make sure my parents weren't.
I thought you were going to invite Rob and Kathy in to listen to your dramatic reading.
No, I need to make sure they're not anywhere near the door.
Oh, Lord. All right, Nick, are you ready? Here we go.
I'm ready. What about your husband? Sod him. Sod him?
Sodom. I think she's British.
Sodom?
Sod him.
I'll do you one better. She seemed to have forgotten she had one. Jim felt strong and handsome and armed to the teeth.
What?
He felt like a barefoot runner, a wrestler, a charioteer. Charioteer? He felt his childhood receding from him, and he felt not the smallest regret. No more the poor fatherless orphan for him. He was an outlaw, and all the better for it. Oh, God. He came again so hard that his dick wrenched out of her hand, and shot of it hit him straight in the eye, and stung like nothing he'd ever had in there. And he yelled with the pain, but the yell could have been anything. And as she grabbed his dick, which was leaping around like a shower dropped in an empty bath, she scratched his back deeply with the nails of both hands, and he shot 3 more times in thick stripes on her chest, like sorrow. The end. I hate this. I
just like you're like your last reading of like sorrow, like you're Fred Schneider in the middle of a fucking B-52 song.
You know, sometimes I'm feeling the Schneider and it has to get out. It has
like
to get
sorrow.
I also liked your incredulous read of 3 more times.
3 more times?
I call
What is this guy,
bullshit.
Peter fucking North?
Such disdain in your voice. 3 more times. Oh, man.
That's impossible.
I feel like I'm peer pressured into this game every time. I don't like it.
I think we liked it the first time, and then it's just gotten progressively dirtier.
But the problem is
Yeah,
that everyone loves this. They love the erotic readings.
The funny thing is when it's not that sexual, you know, and there are reads to make it sexual. You're giving us some hardcore triple X
Dude,
material.
I don't know. The one you just read is easily the funniest you've done on the air.
It's true.
Yeah.
I agree.
Ooh, I literally had to turn the background music down to make sure we could get your full sensuality out of it.
If you see a C on your chest, you knew who was there.
like Zorro! Oh, man alive. That is amazing.
I was in a reboot with Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm learning a couple things in here, but I think I can start with this one. So I put together a couple of packages for you gentlemen and our listeners, of course, as well. But you guys have not heard these before, and I'm hoping you're going to receive them favorably. But yeah, I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a retrospective of what we've done over the 100 episodes of this podcast,
Or haven't done.
and also, first we'll do what we have done. So let me see if I've got this on here. It should be not that one. Oh wait, hold on. I need to get one more. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, guys. Still trying to load up all of
This
these
is like
ridiculous
a
things.
3-ring audio circus.
I listen. It's tricky to get all of these things laid out on here, but
You're doing the Lord's work, Matt.
I really am trying. I thought I had this one loaded up, but I loaded these other two ones up.
Dear listener, just picture Matt's preparation, putting together erotic passages,
Yes.
loading up 37 sound bites.
Well, he would have been doing that anyway.
Taking a break to masturbate, looking for more passages.
The erotic sound bites, I mean, really, he just has to transcribe those from his phone and email them to the computer. Those are already there.
Okay, you guys are very, very funny.
It's in his notes app.
All right, so I'm going to play this one. This is right here. This is I put together my best of 100 episodes of The New Way, so I hope you enjoy.
Last Pint Productions presents The New Way podcast with Ben and Matt. The New Way podcast contains adult content, including naughty language, adult themes such as mortgages, partial male nudity, and Tom Hanks. Listener discretion is advised.
Who is the first celebrity you remember actively masturbating to?
You might be surprised at who I'm going to say.
I'm on pins and needles.
Tom Hanks. Now let me explain a little bit further. Really, your second one is not even remotely a chick flick.
And please explain why.
All right, Ben chose for number 2 Braveheart.
Okay, and let me justify this. I have had 4 different women tell me their favorite movie is Braveheart. You know why?
But they're Nazis. You have to have a romantic exploit with a celebrity of the same sex as you.
If I was going to go do what?
So you are forced, for whatever reason.
And I'm supposed to go out and have a good time with this guy?
Yes.
That's easy. Hell, Michael Strahan. Ain't no way out of it.
Oh my God.
I know I'd fit right in with something like that.
Anyways, today we have a guest in the studio / house / apartment. So anyway, it's Braden Danner. You can say hi.
Hey, thanks for that.
Welcome, Braden. And we also thank Braden for being here today because Rob Schneider canceled at the last minute. I am here today joined by the 3 still living members of famed Tallahassee hit band Gadwell Lane. Say hi, boys. We have one Timothy McDonald in studio tonight. We have in studio with us today the infamous Greg Klein, David Crespo, Mr. Phil Jackson, Mr. Daniel Kenny, Mrs. Beth Fincannon Wilson, John Arthur Ingram, stage name Wilma McAwesome, Kevin and Ryan Thompson, Mr. Paul Manolito, Mr. Ryan Alexander Hamilton.
Put it in your mouth before you look at it.
Ooh. Feels like,
Tonight on the Channel 4 News, we're on Panda Watch as the San Diego Zoo's giant panda gets ready to give birth. Back to you, Matt.
Grown Tom, as a 13-year-old mentally, wasn't able to physically make it all the way to consummation.
Yes, he didn't know what he was doing.
Yes. So he's saying he couldn't get a boner. I think he can get a boner. He's got a man dick.
This is how I would describe the podcast. This podcast is really well done. For no reason, sometimes.
Liam Neeson stars in this rip-roaring comedy classic.
Because otherwise, I think he's just basking in the glory and just enjoying the fact that the first 5 did so well.
Well, he can't possibly write a worse ending for his book than he often writes. So he's in good shape.
Wrong.
And I drove your car and someone crashed into it.
All right, well, we're going to hang up on Nick, but thanks for calling, Nick. That was great. Okay, we lost our connection with Nick. That was upsetting. Anyway.
Like one of the best voices ever.
Yeah, she's got phenomenal. She's got
She's gonna do memories. It's gonna be great.
I didn't mean it.
There it is again. The funny thing is, it makes you laugh.
So that was 100 episodes
That was
of
heartwarming.
The New Way. And as we did a little bit of a kind of a call off there of people that have called in or guested on the show, which we've had a lot. And you know what? I lest you think our fans are not the greatest fans that exist out there, I put a call out at no earlier than 4 p.m. today saying, hey, if you'd like to be a part of tonight's New Way podcast, like to say something nice about our show, send me a soundbite. I received a ton of sound bites, so much so that I had to extend the song behind this. But here's another package for you guys. These are people calling in to wish us a happy 100 episodes on The New Way.
Congratulations on your 100th podcast. You're my favorite group of overrated middle-aged men.
Hey guys, congrats on your 100th episode. It's Paul Mamalito, by the way, which people will know me from episodes such as All the Feels and The Crying Game, which, by the way, I've polled your audience and they have said that when I guest star, the show is approximately 2 to 3% funnier and more content.
Longer, yes.
That
Longer, yes.
Resonates with people deep down in their bones and in their guts. But anyway, what an amazing accomplishment. Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah, hi, this is Dr. Rick calling in just to tell you congratulations on your 100th shitty episode that... Oh, fuck, I gotta go.
Hey, just want to give a shout out to Matt, Ben, and Nick. Congrats on your 100th podcast. It's epic. Too many more episodes.
Hey, this is Paul Lind. I just want to say greetings and salutations and congratulations to the New Way for their 100th podcast. You guys are so humble.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to call and say congrats on your 100th episode of the podcast. I don't know what's more impressive, 100 episodes or 99 subscribers. Either way, wow.
Hey guys, congrats on the 100th episode. Keep up the good work. But please, 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 for the love of God, stop talking about cats!
Hi, this is Casey from Philly. Wanted to congratulate Matt, Ben, and Nick on 100 episodes. It's been a great ride. I appreciate all you guys do for me personally, including because I got 3 kids. I have not. I've maybe seen 5 movies since 2010, and you guys do your reviews in such a way that it makes it interesting for me, and so that I don't have to see anything. Looking forward to 100 more episodes full of Beth ad reads, as well as music parodies, and certainly more discussion on cats. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, Greg Klein here. Wishing you a happy 100th podcast day. I mean, unbelievable. The new wave is on. The new way. The new wave? The new way. Okay, let's do that over. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, Greg Klein here, your favorite podcast guest. And I'm here to wish you happy 100 podcasts. I mean, what an achievement. What an achievement? That's for sure not a word. Do this one more time. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, Greg Klein here. But it's not really about me today, is it? Arguable, but it's not. 100 podcast. Something to really be proud of. I'm telling you. I remember 14, 16 years ago when you guys started this thing. It was just the 2 of you. Just Billy, Matt. Now you got that other kid. And I mean, it's just a really cool achievement. I'm your biggest fan. I'll always be here to support you. I love you. I love your pink parts and big kisses. Got a little weird at the end, but I think you got enough stuff to use there.
Everybody was talking about it, and all of a sudden it just kind of disappeared. Why? A little bit of beer.
Hey guys, I just wanted to congratulate the New Way on 100 episodes. Probably 20 to 27 of them have been listenable, and I'd like to thank you for allowing me to be a part of probably the best one. It's provided me a great outlet for my constant need to talk about Tom Hanks masturbating and other inappropriate things So I hope you stick around for 100 more, and then 100 more after that. And I hope you let me continue to be a part of the show as your 4th biggest fan out of the 8 fans that you have. Congratulations, guys.
Ben, Matt, and Nick, congratulations on 100 episodes of the New Way podcast. I guess that means it's been 100 nights you've taken my husband away from our family so he can get drunk and talk about movies. Awesome. Congrats. Great job, guys. But really, if somebody asked me, what do you think about the New Way? There's only one response, and it's, I love it.
Thank you. A big thank you to Timmy McDonald, Christopher Walken, John Arthur Ingram, Dr. Rick, Paul Mamalito, Paul Lind, Kevin Thompson, Mark Travellini, Casey August, Greg Klein, Ryan Alexander, Helgi Pedersen sounding like Guy Fieri because Helgi said he didn't have enough time to send in a clip, so I just put a random clip of Guy Fieri in there just in case you want to find that out. And of course, Mrs. Beth Fincannon Wilson for putting that together in 2 hours to send me absolute radio gold. You guys are truly the greatest fans anyone could hope to have.
It's Fieri.
I'm not gonna give him more screen time than he absolutely needs.
Just saying.
But yeah, that was.
I feel like we died.
Yeah, exactly. That was the in memoriam thing. Oh wait, maybe we're in purgatory right now.
Wait, no one told you guys?
Oh yeah,
the New Way's been canceled.
We're in the last episode of Lost. Your most fitting end.
I wanted to do some fun, amazing things for our 100 episodes, which doesn't happen a whole hell of a lot of times. So who knows if we'll make it to 200. Might as well enjoy it now when we're at 100 for sure.
Yep.
Excuse me.
It's all good.
We made it further than the Dana Carvey show.
That made it not. We made it farther than Dana Carvey in like a week, but that's sad. So you'll have noticed from the title of this episode, which I thought was a funny title, which is the New Way Podcast, Episode 100, the New Way Podcast, the musical, and that is what we are here to do tonight. We decided what better way to stroke our own egos than to write a musical about something we love, us. And so we each set off on our own paths to kind of construct our own New Way podcast musical narrative and what songs might go along with that. None of us, as with any of our other musical episodes, none of us have heard or know exactly what direction anyone else is going in. So we are all going to be enjoying this moment for the first time with you guys as well. So I think, Ben, do you want to kick off?
Sure.
You happy doing that?
Yeah, sure. I'll kick stuff off.
So let me get your thing opened up here, and I guess.
So I mean, I do have to lead in a little bit.
Okay,
here.
so you are queued up. You just let me know.
So originally, just so you know, when we first started talking about this, we originally talked about maybe doing something that was a little bit more collaborative, where all three of us were trying to, do certain components, and we realized that
we don't like each other very much.
Well,
so
from we couldn't postal service it well enough, I think, to really have something that I think we would all be sort of happy with. So that's when we decided we're all going to do our own little pitches, and and submit those as kind of what we thought that would be best as far as the New Way podcast is concerned. So what I did is I went back to, our Let's Make a Musical stuff, and I kind of stuck with what I knew, which is kind of repurposing other properties and putting them into a package of this sort of one musical concept. And
wait, sorry, Ben. I think I misunderstood again. We're not doing a sequel to Cats?
No, we're not doing a sequel to Cats. But
you mean Mats, the sequel to Cats?
Oh no.
So funny enough, it was actually referenced by Greg Klein there earlier in our little in memoriam. I decided that my theme for this was going to be New Wave, because it is the new way of the New Wave. So I primarily sourced music from New Wave, kind of late 70s, early 80s music, and I created a false narrative of the New Way podcast.
Ooh.
And that is what you're going to listen to now. It's bad. You can start it, Matt.
Okay.
Almost intentionally so. But I hope you enjoy it.
It's very emo. Oh, I feel like I'm in The Leftovers.
And I almost, yeah, you'll get the feel. The year is 2132. The harvest wars have ended, and America is now a desolate, apocalyptic shell of its former self. Humanity bands together in small, protected enclaves, while roaming bands of violent raiders rule the wastelands in between. Communication has been broken, with no government in place, and with the EMP technologies exploited in the war having wiped out all television and digital forms of technology.
It's the Sons of Mim.
It's this time we are introduced to our hero, Nick, of the clan Santa Croce of New California, who becomes obsessed with the culture of old America after stumbling upon a treasure trove of vintage vinyl records, a hand-cranked turntable, and a speaker, along with a book he cannot read. While trying to piece together a suitable real sound system in an effort to become the world's highest paid and only DJ, Nick receives a radio message, faintly emitted from somewhere in Florida.
Nice. Yeah. This is Frankel Rock.
A radio signal could be a breakthrough in New America and mean the beginning of a new civilization. Armed with his wits, rat jerky, and his 3 favorite records, Nick leaves the safety of New California, headed east on his adventure.
Fuck yeah, I love this.
I can't seem to get anyone to see that just existing isn't destiny. We have to find a way to restart the world and maybe find a bushy eyebrow girl. I'm here to show that there's a new way that's far better to start and die here in LA. I'll start my journey and start today. I walk better. I hear the signal, I'm on my way.
Oh no.
Before he can reach Nevada, Nick is captured by a cannibalistic raider tribe who bring him to their lair for a sacrifice. However, before he can be eaten, Nick meets another prisoner. Ben, originally hailing from the east, had been caught by the raiders while smuggling the wares of America's last remaining craft brewery to the Pacific Northwest. He had stayed alive only because of his exceptional storytelling abilities, passed down to him from generations of moonshiners. Stories such as The Wars of Stars, The Busting of Ghosts, Andrei Tarkovsky's Solaris, and Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Enraptured, Nick knows that Ben has to join him on his quest to find this radio signal so they can share these stories with the world. But how?
Amazing.
Ben reveals to Nick that his still operational 1970 white Dodge Challenger is in the raiders' possession, and through a clever guile helps Nick escape, only holding the book that he had found.
I have a plan if you are thinking to escape. Being ingested only after you are raped is not the way our story ends, so you just wait. Ow, ow. So many stories I am ready to discuss. Histories of pre-code film and former starlets' busts. And with this knowledge, you're the first man I can trust. All of the children, we have to tell them apocalypse, kill the radio star. Apocalypse, kill the radio star. But in my mind, that's who we are. I'll get our guard drunk on some moonshine that I got. We'll slip into the night and without getting shot, to find the signal and promote pop culture thought.
Yeah.
Who is behind it? don't mind it. Apocalypse, kill the radio star. Apocalypse, kill the radio star. And all we'll do is steal my car. And buckle up, we're going far. Ow!
Across the country, the travelers journey, spreading the gospel of the pop culture past along their way with raiders, travelers, and lonely convent nuns. Without realizing it, they inadvertently create a following that promises that, upon the launch of this new signal, they will forever have loyal subjects and listeners. Nick is able to triangulate the signal in Florida, and as the travelers approach, they see an impenetrable fortress. Trying to enter, they are captured by large robots who are tasked with bringing them to their master. As they enter this throne room, they meet Sir Matthew of Ship and his technological terrors.
I've been expecting you, yes, I heard you be coming by. Traveling the world, gathering your flock and selling lies. Your stories are great and exciting and all, but I'm about to blow your mind. I've got a secret that will shape all of mankind.
Matt opens a vault to reveal a trove of films from the past.
Sweet Blu-rays, talk to me and show them what they seek. We'll speak intelligently on shows like Dawson's Creek. We'll share with all the world so they can understand. This new way starts the new way all across the land.
I love it.
As Nick, Ben, and Matt join forces, they absorb every bit of saved pop culture that Matt has collected with his robot army, and then launch their pirate radio signal across the world. As they become revered kings of this new society, Nick reveals the book to Matt that he has been carrying all along, which Matt realizes is the original script for a film titled Good Will Hunting. Matt grabs a camera and begins to prepare.
Holy shit, Ben.
Wow.
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 Wow. That was unexpectedly amazing.
I expected it. I expected excellence.
Well, first of all, Casey August, who called in earlier and told us about not seeing me, who is a gigantic Duran Duran fan. So I guarantee right now he is like pumping his fist listening to this. That was fucking phenomenal. I really wish we put you last at this point now.
It's all good. No,
but yeah, that was awesome. That was super, super awesome.
I'm hoping it's. I was thinking about doing the thing because obviously I went down like the Tenacious D sort of alternate history, future, past thing. But yeah, I just thought I was like, I hope it's funny because it's kind of dumb. It's very dumb.
No, I think it's great. It's a great. Listen, we have all. So I'll go into mine next because mine's a little bit more of a literal translation of the evolution of the new way. A little bit. So it's good to kind of your fantastical, which I was kind of hoping we really did want to have all three of us kind of write something similar to that, where we were just coming up with this fantastical musical. It was very difficult for us to find time to get together with one another. But right. I think
we're very busy. We're very busy. We get places to be.
We have a lot of things. We're
in demand.
Happening, a lot of plates spinning. But yeah, I think we've got some. I think we've got some tricks up our sleeves from Nick and me here to give you some more insight on the New Way podcast. So I'm gonna go ahead and pitch you my New Way musical,
yes.
a little more literal. The New Way for me starts with Last Pint Productions, and Last Pint Productions, of course, starts with the story of Ben and Matt. And the two of us met, of course, at a famed Oscar party at Ben's humble apartment. me with Ben's ex-fiance on my arm, and two of us opened our musical show with a number, basically doing our own version of the opening of the Oscars, but with us discussing Oscars on the screen for, with the really sexy categories like best cinematographer and best screenplay. And so
are those still categories?
Almost.
Are you sure? Are you sure they're still categories?
They've been replaced with best
I'm
kiss.
not. And so Ben and Matt, but we part ways after this party, and I continue on with a romance that I don't really have my heart in. Ben begins to fall in love with his future wife, and we've kind of gone astray. And then one night we cross paths again at O'Connor's pub, one fateful evening. And it's here that a spark is begun, will eventually become Last Pint Productions, as we attempt to develop a TV series together called Dream Writers. And we sing the song Maddie Shanks, which I believe is this one. Just above the swampy swamp at O'Connor's pub, there sits Maddie Shanks drinking beers and bubbly. So much to say when you're just above the swampy swamp. Yeah. Maddie Shanks, what is this show you call Dream Writers? Maddie Shanks, won't you take me far away from this shitty TV? Now it's time for me to tell you about Ben Tastycock, arch rival and nemesis of Maddie Shanks, with film knowledge comparable to Maddie Shanks. What knowledge, you ask? I don't know. How about the fact he's seen it happen one night? Not do anything for you? That's pre-code film, Holmes. How about the power to rant about how Twilight is just a bunch of books about the subjugation of women and 100-year-old vampires hooking up with high school sophomores? That's pedophilia, Miss Myers. How about the power to school you? History of Maddie Shanks and Ben Tastycock. Rig-a-goo-goo, rig-a-goo-goo-goo. The baker they both played. By one girl both were laid, and still they joined as friends in unity. Yeah! Maddie Shanks, what is this show you call Dream Writers? Maddie Shanks, won't you take me far away from the Big Bang Theory? Well, Maddie Shanks and Ben Tastycock joined forces, and they formed a production company the likes of which has never been seen, and they called themselves Last Pint Productions. That's right, me and Benny. That's me. Thank you. We are now the Last Pint Productions team. Come right with me, right?
Morning, Nance.
Hey there, hotshot. Bored your house to your desk?
First thing on Monday morning, can you say I'm out sick or something?
And pick the heat for you, Daniel? No diet filter. Besides, you're never sick.
You're killing me.
That's my job. Also want to see you, by the way.
Will do. Thanks.
Maddie Shanks, when will we ever see Dream Writers? Maddie Shanks, won't you take me far away from this shitty TV? Oh, take my hand, Ben Tastycock, and we'll write. Bring out your broad dick. There's Chuck Lorre. We must gloat. He has no scrote. You take the dialogue, I'll take the plot. there at the premiere. We'll watch it, drinking mighty beer.
I'm not calling him Tasty Cock. That's not going to stick.
First of all, Ben Tasty Cock made me laugh really hard. So, I don't want to call him it, but it's a funny name. Also, the dialogue you could not hear very well was a recording of the original Dreamwriter script.
Our table read.
Table read, where Paul Mammolito spent 30 minutes trying to figure out how to deliver the line you just heard him lead as, "You're killing me."
Which he said he had never heard used in popular modicum.
He did not understand it whatsoever.
I'm like, you've never seen the fucking Sandlot?
So
The Room?
So yeah, exactly. So unfortunately, Dreamwriters is not meant to be. But the two gentlemen continue to meet for writers' nights, but something's missing.
It went to the good place.
It did. It went to better TV shows in the end. And they've been writing some blog posts on the Last Pint Productions website, but interest is minimal. And it's then they come up with the idea of starting a podcast. And after many false starts, they finally air the first episode of the New Wave podcast on April 5th, 2013. And surprisingly, it gets some traction. The content is interesting, despite it sounding like it was recorded on 2 tin cans. But alas, it's not meant to be. And as the act closes out, the podcast is put on hiatus indefinitely. Act 2. It's 3 years later, and Nick Santacroce has come to town. He's been rooming with Matt, and he pitches them the idea of starting up the podcast again. But this time, they'll do it right. Better equipment to accommodate more people, individual mics, and, most importantly, a soundboard. Plus, with 3 people, debate is bound to arise and pique the interest of the audience. Nick marvels at his handiwork of getting the podcast back off the ground in a song we call Along Came Santacroce. The time has come to bring the New Wave podcast back online, to get your microphone sounding fine, and start recording shows about Chris Pine.
Or Klein.
Yes. Hot. It's time for Nick to infiltrate this podcast click and prove I have the bigger dick than
Definitely the
these
villain.
podcasting pair of pricks. They were helpless, they were hopeless, then along came Santacroce. I said soundboard, so some discord. Yes, along came Santacroce. I'm your asshole, I'm your devil, and I keep things lively as fuck. I'm your Nicholas Santacroce. On the New Way, stirring shit up. And stir shit up he does. The addition of Nick and the soundboard proves to be a winner. The podcast begins to soar, gaining super fans, especially fans of the many drops frequently played throughout the episodes. And of course, we have a number where Matt's dressed up like a DJ, spinning drops in a song we like to call Killing on the Soundboard.
Oh no.
I love it.
Oh, good for you.
I like turtles. I like turtles. I like turtles. I like turtles.
Scusi, mi scusi. Scusi, mi scusi. Scusi, mi scusi. Scusi, mi scusi.
My God. Killing on the soundboard.
Will you help teach me about this? What is it? A new way?
Best penetrated horses.
Designed to penetrate.
And the fans raise their voices.
Designed to penetrate.
Best penetrated horses.
Designed to penetrate.
And the fans raise their voices.
Designed to penetrate.
Best penetrated horses.
Designed to penetrate.
And the fans raise their voices.
Designed to penetrate.
Best penetrated horses.
Designed to penetrate.
And the fans raise their voices.
Designed to penetrate.
Killing on the soundboard. Killing on the soundboard.
Nerd vote, motherfucker.
It's Nerd Rope, motherfuckers.
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 Scatman Jones.
And Scatman Jones in The Shining.
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 Any more treats?
And you know that Beth loves it.
Any more treats?
And you know that Beth loves it.
Any more treats?
And you know that Beth loves it.
Any more treats?
And you know that Beth loves it.
It stinks.
Inspired. Inspired.
That was the hardest thing to put together of all time.
That's the second time I've cried during this podcast. Tears of happiness.
I'm very glad everyone liked that one. That was a special one.
Yeah.
So the Crack Kid is the greatest insertion on a song ever of all time. You can't go wrong with him anywhere you put him in.
Get insertions, penetrations.
There we go. So finally, the show reaches a huge milestone, 100 episodes. A celebration is due, and Matt leads the cast in a song we call Everything's Coming Up New Way, which I didn't...
Is it coming up New Way?
Matt killing on the Matt. Uh-oh.
Well, it truly is coming up New Way.
Well, I'm going to get to it in a second. I don't know why that one didn't make it on there, but let's try. Give us...
irony?
Give us 10 seconds. Okay, everything is never coming up New Way. That is the truth of it. We are always under the gun, but that's what makes us so listenables.
Now, see, I thought that the last act was going to be, where the heroes kill the villain. So I thought that this is going to have a very different ending. This is actually welcomed from my point of view.
You were not the villain. You were not the villain.
You gave me a diabolical laugh.
By the way, that laugh is going to come up in a bit later on, I think. Anyway,
Is that how you guys see me?
All right, here's the last song from Everything's Coming a New Way. We had a dream of a show, baby. We made it come true, baby. We knew what to do, and maybe it's been swell. It's been great. We've done 100 shows now to date. And there's more, so much more. Honey, everything's coming up New Way. Have a shot, drink some beers. We've done shows mostly drunk for 5 years. Play a drop, close the door. Honey, everything's coming up New Way. Now it's our time. Yes, it's our time up here. That's Goonies. We're in our prime. Eye to eye, just like Powerline. Marvel fans, Cats fans too. Ben says Alien talk's overdue. Our tangents, long as hell. Just 3 gents who all yell. But we just want to entertain you all. Honey, everything's coming up New Way for us and you all. And that is my New Way musical.
Beautiful, baby. I gotta say, this 100th episode is really going well. It's really going well. I mean, you think you set an unreachable bar, and we've exceeded it. I think we can end the show right here.
No. We have, I believe we have a song about the most important member of the podcast coming up here, right?
Well, I thought that, well, okay. So, I know we haven't dedicated a whole lot of the show to this. In the musical Cats, each cat nominates another cat for immortal life. And I thought that's what we were going to do. I thought we were all going to pick someone in the crew to be that immortal cat.
Ben. Ben.
Well, that was my selection.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing a Cats sequel, but it kind of doesn't fit anymore. But it does make for a pretty good finale. So maybe you can still play it. Hopefully,
listen. We had one caller say no more cats, another say more cats.
I
say let's listen to the more cats person. Yeah.
All right, you're the tiebreaker.
Right.
Let's listen to Benjamin's old ass film expertise. Benjamin's old ass film expertise.
I'm so excited for this one. I'm so excited for this.
You ought to ask Ben Wilson, the original pre-code film fan. The greatest podcasters will soon be eclipsed by his rate of non-stop film-centric quips. It's the new way. Oh, well, there never was there ever flaunty endeavor, says Benjamin's old-ass film expertise. He's a riot, he is tall and he lacks the ability to softly exhale, pressed up on the mic talking smack that your critiques have gotten too stale. He can polish off several six-packs and stay relatively concise. He is always believing that you're misconceiving Junet's framing device. His opinions are always uncorked, and his jokes are often bad taste. He will shit over old Mickey Rourke.
Angel Heart was an acting disgrace.
Topic one moment, but now off the rails. Strap in for another of Wilson's tall tales. On the new way. Oh, well, there never was there ever flaunty endeavor, says Benjamin's old-ass film expertise. Oh, well, there never was there ever flaunty endeavor, says Benjamin's old-ass film expertise. Oh, well, there never was there ever flaunty endeavor, says Benjamin's old-ass film expertise.
Okay, sure. Maybe his film analysis is a little inaccessible for those of us who didn't obsess over French New Wave films in high school, but gosh darn it, we love him here.
He is weighted with the burden of proof that Linklater never had a misfire, though it might seem like it was a goof. His opinion is never satire. Hot takes, he's the biggest supplier, and you know that they are foolproof. When it was inferred that he much preferred Adam Sandler in Bulletproof. But his thoughts are his own, not the others. I've known him to throw down a brawl, defending his personal druthers. He will place his balls through the wall. And not long ago, in trenchant combat, took the Lion King reboot to the laundromat.
The joke was he took Jon Favreau to the cleaners, but I couldn't make it rhyme.
Oh, well, there never was there ever flaunty endeavor, says Benjamin's old-ass film expertise. Oh, well, there never was there ever flaunty endeavor, says Benjamin's old-ass film expertise.
All right, guys, hopefully you've been holding your comments in. Here is the musical break where you can chime in and say whatever you want to say. Stop
I thought that was
talking
you.
over my lyrics. Go.
I like everything so far.
Stop.
One last hurrah for the man of the hour, your earhole's virginity, he will deflower.
All right, let's bring it down for the climactic finale.
Oh, well, never was there ever flaunty endeavor, says Benjamin's old-ass film expertise. Oh, well, never was there ever flaunty endeavor, says Benjamin's old-ass film expertise. Everybody! Oh, well, never was there ever flaunty endeavor, says Benjamin's old-ass film expertise. Oh, well, never was there ever flaunty endeavor, says Benjamin's old-ass film expertise. Oh, well, never was there ever flaunty endeavor, says Benjamin's old film expertise. Oh, well, there never was Benjamin old film expertise.
Gus Van Sant is a hack and owes his entire career to aping early Belatar.
I simultaneously feel singled out.
Ben said
and
so
fucking proud
stone-faced during that. So stone-faced. By the way, that last soundbite was not Ben just speaking out loud. That was part of the song. That's how good it was. You couldn't actually tell the difference.
Ben said that to me totally blind. I gave him a little bit of direction.
He showed me the messages.
I didn't show him I didn't play him the sound clip. I just showed him the screenshot of that text exchange where you like, hey, can you send me something totally obscure and just random like a hot take? And I sent you a 5-second clip and you were just like, ha ha ha, perfect.
Totally on point. The timing, it fit perfectly.
It times out perfectly on that song. That's amazing. Listen, I want more of that Cats New Way musical.
So where's Matt's song, Nick?
I didn't have enough time. I'm traveling. I went to a wedding. I'm going to a shoot.
He couldn't find a way to rhyme with Matt with cats.
Yeah, I couldn't come up with it.
It was too tricky.
So next episode we can expect the
yes
Rum Tongue Tugger song is going to be Matt's song.
That's right. All songs are the Matt song.
Rum Tum Tugger. I barely know her.
There we go. By the way, I honestly forgot about another package I put together earlier tonight. So I'm going to play you guys one more. So for those of you listening, and by the way, congrats to all of us in the studio for our New Way musicals. I think we did
yes, great job, everybody.
If I can just clap for all of us, those were phenomenal. And also super fun for us to listen to when we haven't heard any of this stuff before. So a lot of you don't know on the New Way, when we get ready to start an episode, we do a sound check. And for the first, for the middle 40 episodes, I recorded a lot of our preambles on the sound checks. I'll be honest. I wanted to put together a little bit of a montage. I had so many that I'm like, this would be 2 hours long. So I did just the first ones that I came upon that really that got me on there. But we will do more of these. But here's some of what happens on the podcast before you hear us actually rolling.
I heard it.
We're live. We are playing now.
Is that you?
Ew. God damn, that's gross.
Just clearing it out.
Jesus.
We're back, baby.
Naked.
Pizza here. It has a arrow pointing up. I go, Luna, you need this shirt. And she's like, it says insert pizza here. She goes, insert pizza here. Ha. That's very, very funny. It doesn't even, not even smiling.
Rolling. This is on mute.
I entered a...
let's do a little quick test, everybody. Testing.
Dropping loads.
I'm dropping fucking loads.
Hi. How's it going, buddy?
All right. There we go.
How you feeling? You ready for this?
All right.
It's a real wild card tonight. You don't know what you're going to get, do you? I feel like Paul Rudd when he turns big, you know?
That's where your laugh came from. All right, let's listen back.
I'm going to put this popcorn out of the crack.
Well, that's Nick's sound test. Ben?
Check, 1, 2, check. Testing, 1, 2, 2. Don't hit the mute button when you play something off the soundboard because it's going to be dead air.
Yeah, I'm going to discuss how that happened and how to not have that happen again. Nick, can you give me some actual audio?
Yep. Hello, my name is Nick Shanacroce. I'm here. I'm very happy to be here.
Okay, testing.
Let's try the man juice first. Test 2, 3. Can anybody hear me? If I said the irony, can anybody hear me?
I didn't much
Like me.
Good for you.
On the escarpment, shot the apartment.
I may prefer. that if I was going to listen to someone warm up or something. But it's fine.
One song, glory. One song to leave behind. However you're comfortable.
Say the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
I don't think I can. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy.
The Human Torch.
It was denied a Bingle.
And let's
Guess
see.
he wasn't happy with his
sound
color
effects. We got very accusatory.
No. Like all the
Next
time.
question.
The other night.
Wait, Ben, which of these am I supposed to start with? Scaled or
no, I would start with the
peep toad?
The peep toad.
Okay.
No, the other night.
The
other night.
I hate when a girl's got peep toad.
What's up?
The other night on Friday, I met up with a friend of a friend. Was out. She texted me in Delray and I met up with her. And then she drove me home because I was like, I need to ride home because I'm hammered. And we get in the car. She goes, "Hey, are you gay, by the way? Because everyone thinks you're gay." And I'm like, "Really? Because you're like best friends with my best friends, and they still think." And apparently, everyone thinks I'm gay because I like it that way. Because I'm effeminate, and I'm like, I don't understand that. Do you think I'm gay?
At that poor Ben. Sorry, I'm listening to you.
I'm just talking about it. I'm being honest here.
Do I think you're gay? No.
He's like,
you fucked every single thing in the Tri-County area.
Vagina thing. Not a regular thing.
Sure, everything. Every single thing. Raccoon.
Save it for the podcast.
The save it for the podcast was what they. I'm like, I think I can't play. By the way, no one knows who that is. No one knows who that is.
No one knows.
You literally saved it for the podcast. The 100th podcast.
You gotta save it for the podcast. And I did. I saved it for the 100th podcast. That's the kind of shenanigans we get up to before we actually record. But
oh my God.
Man, I don't know about the rest of you guys out there. I hope you enjoyed it. I have tears of joy and laughter in my eyes right now.
And, before we end, I just have an announcement to make.
Yes.
I just want to thank you guys for just including me, bringing me into the New Way family. I love you guys like brothers, but I am leaving the podcast to join How Did This Get Made?
But you were all
excited. I'm real excited for my future.
It's not like I didn't see it coming.
Hey, remember when we made this joke on air on I think it was 99X or whatever in Panama City, where we
told the greater Panama City area that Luke was leaving the band.
It's a joke, and everyone believed it
because he couldn't make it. He couldn't make it to the interview, and he trusted us to do the interview without him. And anyone who followed that, 20 prepubescent girls angrily emailed.
Yeah,
the
during he got 20 emails just being like, "What happened to Luke?" We're like, "Oh no, it was a joke."
Well, he lost his hair and he lost interest in the band. It was just a 1-2 punch. But
here's the thing, Nick. We love you. Well, you know I love you. You know Matt loves you. We love you a long time. But it was no real New Way without you.
Yeah, we did not listen. There's a reason we tell people that the first 31 are unlistenable, and that's because it's just Ben and me, a couple of tin cans, talking about masturbation. Listen to Hoot talk about wanting to have sex with Michael Strahan and Whoopi Goldberg. That's not lit. No one wants to hear that.
Guys, that's not true. I was in at least 2 of the first 31 episodes.
I was about to say, I was like, well, except for the Gadwell Lane episode and the one before that.
They sounded terrible, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's 100 episodes. My heart is full. It's been. I thank you, everyone. Literally, thank you, everyone. This actual day, who sent in clips for us to put into our little color montage there.
Thanks, New Way fam.
I mean, seriously, the New Way family and fan base is some of the best. You guys came out in droves to help us. Literally make a 5-minute a piece out of something I thought was going to be about 2.5 seconds. So thank you so much.
Roll.
We have a lot in store for you guys for the next 100 episodes. 101 we've already done, and I can tell you it's a banger. It's no Nick involved, so if you're not a Nick fan, tune into that one. You're going to really like it. And if you're a Nick fan, tune into 102. Just feel just skip right over 101. You're not going to like it because Nick's not there. So
And
that's the way we roll.
to all my fans, I still encourage you to listen to episode 101.
Thank
Please.
you, Nick.
They need
now
this.
our stats have finally gone up as the way they should, but we tank
They
every
need
time
this.
there's no Nick Santacroce on there.
Apparently, without Paul Meolito too. I mean, that's
This
what
is
he
true,
said, right?
So thank you to our fans, and thank you to Benjamin Scott Wilson and Nicholas Santacroce.
Thank you, Matt, for doing everything.
You guys you're my besties. I love you guys, and I have so much fun doing this with you every week. And I look forward to the next 100. All right.
Is this where we get naked?
I don't have to, but you can't.
Wait. Okay. Nick's close off.
Nick's nipples were shown earlier in the podcast.
This is exactly where the podcast is supposed to end. Because this is where
I don't like there's so much nipple going on right here, and I don't like it. He's got Christmas story eyes and Christmas story nipples. I don't like.
It's just the way he looks at you, Matt. Look at that.
I
Look at those
know.
puppy dog eyes.
What a mensch.
Damn smile.
You can't say.
So
no
I want to say
that.
thank you to everyone, and I want all three of us in unison to say thank you so much for listening to New Way Podcast, and we'll talk to you next time. Cheers.